This is The Real Gig with Bret Alexander.
There we go, Pauly. We're back. Episode 2.
The deuce.
This is when we get in. This is when we get into the juicy stuff of.
Let's let the juice loose.
Let's
Like OJ.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Let's release the Kraken.
All right. So you guys, we're just gonna get right back into it. If anybody didn't see the last episode, we're talking about the band Panacea, which Pauly was one of the founding members of, and just kind of like this epic tale of triumph and tragedy and great music and debauchery and all the stuff that all of us in this shit show of a business have felt and done. So so basically when we left off, we were just, you guys were right about at the beginning of the release of All or Nothing.
Yeah.
And so the bass player, Mike, had left.
Yeah, he left right after we had a release show, and that was his last show.
Yeah.
So we needed a bass player, and I had known Aaron for years and years and years. I've always tried to put something together with Aaron.
Yeah.
It just never worked out. And at that time, he was looking for something, and it worked out.
Were you guys in the same scene growing up? I don't really know. Like all these guys, all these schools up there, and I don't know who came from where.
He was more in like I don't want to say jam band thing, because he played with like Crush.
Yeah.
And they played a lot. Like Dave Matthews stuff, and I've known he used to do acoustic gigs, and he's a fantastic singer. Yeah, he could play, and just used to go see him there, and we used to drink a whole lot of Jägermeister together and just hang out. And Aaron's a great guy, and like I said, fantastic musician, and that was my own. I'm like, Mike is really really talented, and we couldn't take a step backward. It was like we have to get somebody of equal or greater abilities, and it's like, this is the only guy I could think of who even comes close.
Right.
And luckily he was available and he wanted to do it.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. So that's at that point where that record came out, then we're starting in on We the Broken, which, right?
Yeah, a little longer. We took a couple. It wasn't as fast. Probably about 2 years we started playing an awful lot. Like really worked that All or Nothing record to the bone.
So how is it working out at this point? Like, so people that want to get a sense of being a musician and being in a band like that, where you want to push your own stuff out there, and you're not just playing cover gigs or. So basically, are you guys out playing and you're just kind of putting everything back in? As far as like the business of it? Yeah, money, yeah.
There was never, I don't remember taking a dime in 5-6 years. Like the only time we ever got anything was at the end when we like sold our van and we split the money between the four of us, but we never took any money. And there was also like, I would invest my own money and Kevin would invest. There were times where we're like, well, we need to do this. And it's just how it was.
Yeah. Like with I don't even know what minimum wage was. When the Badleys had a record deal, as far as a salary goes, there really wasn't, people have a strange sense of what. I remember AJ was here and he was talking about that. Like, you don't know what these guys make, that are doing this. If you're running your own business, you're a band, that's a business. You're putting the money back in.
Yeah, it's there was one goal. It wasn't if we wanted to make money, we would have took a different route.
Right. And I always look at it like it's funny with the proliferation of tribute bands and things like that, and we've all played in those situations. Is kind of like you're making money out of the gate. The music's already recorded. Somebody else did that.
You don't have to do you just have to learn how to play it.
You have to learn how to play it and go up there and play the music, which takes a couple weeks and a handful of rehearsals, and then you're in. But if you're trying to build something from scratch, and you want to play music for people that have never heard you before, and trying to like get some sort of sense of have people have a sense of who you are and what it's all about, and then want to come out and see it, and we're going to be singing along out in the audience. That takes some serious time. And I I remember like the first time I did a gig that there was playing with Dustin and doing the Stevie Nicks thing, playing a show, doing that kind of music, was kind of like out of the gate. I remember saying it took me, it took our band 6 years to get to what your first gig was, as far as like getting paid at the end of the night.
Yeah, I played for charity probably up until 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
for like majority of my life. So
yeah, just kind of just trying to get something off the ground and build something.
You just put it back in, and even if you don't think you're putting it back in, you see the amount of gear I buy.
Yeah,
like I'm obsessive with that kind of stuff. And if I make $100 at a gig, it's gone immediately. Like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a pedal, or I'm gonna buy I was constantly investing in myself too, because like I'm particular and I like to have nice things too.
Sure, you always had good gear.
I try.
Much better than the stuff I use.
That was my investment. Like I worked full time while we were playing the whole time. I never didn't have a job. So the idea in my head was, I didn't save any money. Obviously it's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm going to invest in myself and, invest where I can in the band and just do whatever I can to make it as best as possible, because you honestly only get one shot.
Sure.
To make it work, to make it stick.
Yeah.
And people still talk.
Sure. Well, I think in the case of your band this is a philosophical that I should probably. I'm not gonna
easy, Aristotle. I think you should. You already opened the door.
No, I'm going to open. Let's shut that door now, and I'm gonna end this podcast with that conversation.
Oh boy,
because we got a little bit of we got to give people a little more of the journey of this.
Okay.
But I'll get to that, and that's what I'll end with.
Okay.
But for now, we're going to stick with this. So played a little bit, All or Nothing. At this point, this is how many records?
Two.
2 albums.
Yeah.
And, I was coming out to see you guys at that time. And I was coming to shows, and we were kind of coming along through all of that. And there's something going on there. Obviously, not only the band playing on stage, there's a lot of great bands that play on stage that nobody takes a shine to, but they were taking, you guys were the right band at the right time in the right places. The buzz was there, and you could feel it. And yeah, you could feel it. There was people, I don't know. I'm not, at this stage of my career, I don't have my finger on the pulse of what's going on out there. Even in my own market, I'm working in the studio, playing my own shows. But at that time, I remember, it's a different time now, but I remember that it was pretty. And remember, social media was just starting to come in. So there wasn't a big, like, oh, well, you have to keep your profile up. You have to keep your views up. Like, nobody knew any of that. It was all new stuff. It was the MySpace guy, whatever his name is, and you have your friends and whatever. And you didn't. That's when the whole digital marketing thing started really picking up, and we did our best with it. Yeah, but it's like, it's still, at the end of the day, you got to have the goods. Yeah. You have to have you got to have the songs, and you got to have, people have to like you, and I always subscribe to that. We walked off the front of the stage instead of the back of it, Yeah. And, you know what I mean? And that was always our thing. After we played a show, I think maybe in the 70s or, that maybe there's a mystique about musicians or whatever that are out there that they're not to be seen or whatever. I think from a different era. I drank more with the people that came to see us play than I think anybody. Like, yeah, it was too. We were very accessible. Yeah, we always were. Like, Tim is he's a conversationalist. He talks to anyone. Yeah. But people loved him. Yeah. Kevin's a social guy. Everybody, we were always out. Like, we were out with the people that they were our people. Yeah. Like, I still see them today, and it's like, those are our people. Yeah. You just know it, and like, the Bad Lease people. Those are, it's the same thing. It's decades later, and they're still there. You know, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere for you either.
And they're still talking about it. Like, it blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
but you did say a long time ago, and I remember this, a good song will last. Something good will last. Something real will last.
Yeah.
And I don't think it get any more real than that.
No. I mean, that's it. I mean, I always said, for our standpoint, you know, you say in a conversation, okay, well, we went and we did shows with Page and Plant or whatever, which we did, you know, but why we're not playing today because we did shows with Page and Plant. We did because we went to every shithole on the East Coast and played and then walked out the front of the stage and talked to these people. You know what I mean? Became friends with them. I still, to this day, play private events for some of those people. You know what I mean? And, you know, play parties for people. You know, they become your friends, you know, and it just kind of, and it always made more sense to me to run your business like like if it's a band or it's your music, you run it more like a mom and pop store.
Yeah.
You know,
not like a corporation.
Yeah. Not like some nameless, faceless thing that you're trying to.
I'm calling you now to go tell you to talk to that person.
Right.
Thank you. No, you just know you have to do it.
I worry. I don't worry's not a good word. I don't know. In me, I just feel like that's what works. I just feel like that's what works and that's what lasts. That sort of human connection. You know,
lasts.
When there's so much emphasis on, you know, posting and content and all this kind of stuff, and I just feel I absolutely know it works. You know, and algorithms and I absolutely believe in it. I'm doing a podcast. You know what I mean? I can't talk to the people that are watching my podcast, but at the same time, I think it needs to be coupled with human interaction and going out and, you know, and if you're, you know, if you say like what's Levon Helm had a famous quote. He said, well, if music is healing, you know, the doctor better make house calls. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
You know, and that was his thing. You know, if that's what this is, you better be willing to make house calls.
Damn right.
So, that was a thing I always noticed to you guys is because like there was this clan. You know, there was just these people in this.
And they travel, and we would play, like I remember early in the days we would play like Philly, and we arranged like bus trips to go to Philly to play like these every 2-week shows for like, there was a big Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands thing that we played.
Yeah.
And literally like buses we were taking.
Yeah.
And we played in Harrisburg. We took buses of people. And,
yeah.
And there's some great stories from the people that were on those buses.
They had a lot of fun, yeah.
Johnny Popko, who I know had a really good time on one of them. So there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of the connections that those people made with the other people too. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a lot of them are still friends today. I see them on Facebook, like hanging out or whatever. I'm stalking everyone. I'm not really. I don't have that kind of time or effort at this point.
Yeah.
But you're right. The connection is everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, that's it. Make house calls. Run your
like
business.
The guy in the 40-Year-Old Virgin said, you know, it's all about the connection.
Yeah. You know, I mean, just run your band like it's mom and pop. You know, and do things right and treat people right and
treat people the way you want to be treated.
Sure. And if you can do that, and like sometimes it sucks because sometimes you just naturally screw it up because it's usually the bands are a shit show and you're fighting, you're not getting along, and everybody's there to have a fun time and not see you guys fight on stage or be down in the dumps or bummed out or whatever. And hey, I've been there, you know, I've been bummed out at many shows, not for a lot of years, but you know, back in the day.
I had the mumps at one show.
Did you?
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
I was bummed out a little bit with that.
Yeah. I've never had the mumps.
27 years or 30 years old getting the friggin' mumps. Like,
you got the mumps at 30.
I got the mumps, like, of all things.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
You get the shingles?
No, I didn't get the shingles, but got the mumps, and that was right around the time I got rid of the anal rickets, which they're no laughing matter these days. Kids, no laughing matter. None.
All right, so where did your so we're all or nothing. We're going into the next record, which will be the final album for We the Broken. When did your rampant drug use start?
My rampant drug use?
Yes. Was that during Panacea?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, my rampant drug use started during Panacea. I mean,
you asked me to ask you.
You've seen those guys, right? You've dealt with them. That's why I have had rampant drug use.
For Panacea?
No. I had rampant drug use because of my car accident and back injury that I never took care of.
Yeah,
that started around that time, and I like what I like, and it was if 1 is good and 2 is great, 15 is going to be amazing. So let's, and people that really know me know that I am quite stubborn.
Yeah. And
once I have it in my head that I'm doing something, I'm doing it regardless of what you say or what you do or what you tell me. I'm going to do it, and I did it, and that was a learning lesson that lasted 13 years, 12 years.
13 years.
12 years. Let me think. It was actually before Panacea. It wasn't rampant. It was just I was a dabbler.
Yeah. But not
it was probably maybe 12 years. 2016 is when I stopped.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember us going to some gigs sometimes, and it's like
I've hit many
getting concerned.
I've hit many
my boy here.
exit signs, like when you get off an exit. I've driven right through them. Yeah, not like the proudest moments of my life, but
sure,
we all live and we learn, and it was like I said, that carried on after Panacea, and it got continually worse and worse and worse to the point of, I was like, I would pass out sitting here talking to you, and I would just be like, phew.
Yeah,
and then a couple seconds later, I'd be like, oh, well, what's going on?
Yeah,
I mean, pain medication is heroin.
Yeah.
It's basically heroin. So after you get jazzed up on all that stuff, there's only one way to going down. Yeah. Thank God I'm deathly afraid of needles.
Yeah.
Because that probably would have been the next step. But after so long, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
sure.
There was actually a video. I was home the one night, and I was pretty well plastered out of my ass. And my girlfriend took a video of me having a bowl of soup, and it was scalding hot. I dumped it all over myself. And in the video is my kid sitting there next to me.
Oh,
that was the day. That was it. Done. Cold turkey. Stopped, threw everything in the trash. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore because, number one, I'm not setting a very good example for him. Like, I always tell, people want, people learn and try things out and whatever, but it got kind of out of hand.
And it gets dark.
Oh, it got real dark, and all that stuff, and compiled with, all I got to do is really call the doctor and tell him I need more.
Yeah.
And it feeds and feeds and feeds, and then when you run out, you're just like, well, got a lot of friends. I'm a musician. I'm one of the dirtiest players in the business. Like, it goes downhill from there, and just happy to still be alive. I mean, I should be 6 feet under easily.
There are several.
Many times over, I have cheated death.
Yeah. We have family members, friends that weren't so fortunate.
Nope.
And not partiers.
Nope.
Same thing, got injured at work.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I like to party, but
yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying not habitually something that there was like a just highly addictive.
I wasn't really going out and like hanging out with people and partying. I did it behind closed doors, or of course, like if we had a gig, you can't hide it.
Yeah.
Right, you have a show or whatever, so don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do them. No.
Just smoke weed. It's okay. It's from the earth. God put it here for us. That's what saved me.
Yeah.
That is one thing, because without that, I'd be dead.
Yeah, well,
and the only thing I ever destroyed from being high off the weed was a bag of Doritos. Honestly, I never hurt anybody's feelings. Pork rinds, whatever was in the house. I don't care what it was. the ramen noodles, I just eat them right out of the pack. I don't even boil them. Take the salt and just dump it. You're good.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I hurt anyone?
No.
My blood pressure?
Maybe you.
Maybe me, but I'm allowed to hurt myself. I already did the damage. The damage is done.
You need to forgive yourself.
I need to go to church and forgive.
No, you need to forgive yourself.
I just need to go to church. I'm not going to church.
Was it Mike Myers, fat bastard?
Oh.
Somebody I have to... Yeah.
I eat because I hate myself. But I hate myself because I eat.
Get in my belly.
Get in my belly.
Okay. So you're here, so that's good news.
I'm here. I'm
there we go.
Kicking.
That's the lesson from this one. Happy that you're still here.
I am too.
All right. So we kind of went into this We the Broken period, which was would be the last Panacea record. Where was the second record deal?
CBS.
Okay, that's the one I don't remember.
You were at Harrisburg.
That was the second one?
That was the second one.
I thought that was Epic.
Or Epic.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
And that was at that show in Harrisburg when they pulled the rug out from underneath us. So
that was, but at this point you had Mazer in the Clan, and you had Terry Sellers in the Clan.
Yep.
And I remember being at that show, and basically that was like 2 + 2 = 4. I mean, everything that I would need. I mean, I understand there's a certain amount of a gut instinct and numbers and all that kind of stuff. That basically there's a bottom line, obviously, to give somebody a couple $100,000 or whatever they're going to do for a record deal. But basically, all the steps were taken. I've said it in other podcasts where when we got our first record deal and we started showcasing for people and we were getting close, they said, well, you guys haven't skipped any steps, and that was with you guys. It was like, okay, they haven't skipped any steps. Everything's in line. 2 + 2 = 4. Yep. And it just didn't happen, and that was just another one of those things. It was just like, I was certain, I mean, that's one of those times, that was the time number 2. I was certain it was going to happen.
I remember getting the text on the way home from you.
I was like, you guys sounded awesome.
Yep.
It was amazing. I said, this is done. This is done. Then it did not happen, and that was also because you guys played that night and you had, you were the headliner, but the opener was Duff from
the Cake Boss.
What's it? Ace of Cakes.
Yeah.
He had a band, and my big memory, besides you guys sounding so great that night, my biggest memory was my wife got in a fight with him.
I remember that.
Yeah, Kelly got in a fight with Duff from Ace of Cakes.
Wasn't it over his fondant or something?
No, she said something that was true, but he didn't like it. But he said something about, she said, well, you have to deal with all these people or whatever. At these gigs, all this correspondence, whatever the comment was. But basically he said, no, that's my job, and she said, no, your job is to make cakes. I guess he saw himself more as a rock star than a cake guy. And he got really pissed off.
I can't make a cake.
Well, the wife can.
I could eat a cake.
Yeah, the missus can make them, and that was her business. So yeah, she said that he didn't care for that. But that was pretty funny. But that was that night you guys played with his band, and then I remember texting you on the way home. So this is done. This is gonna be great. And then it just didn't happen.
Nope.
And that was We the Broken was done. Out.
Yeah, we were rolling
on radio.
Yeah, we were rolling pretty good at that point.
Right. And then nothing. Right? Then it just didn't happen.
Just nothing. No, nothing happened. We had a couple more some more interest. Hollywood was one of them again. We went back up to showcase for them, and nothing happened. And we played a show with you guys at the Woodlands, and someone was there. I don't know where they were from, and I remember them sitting down and talking to us about We the Broken, the song.
Yeah.
And I've always said, like, our music is our music. It's our art. It's our passion. And there's a reason for everything being where it's at. And I don't care what anybody says outside of us of like, well, I don't think that should be there or whatever. So this guy from CBS, whoever, he said, oh, what's up with the middle section of We the Broken, like the reggae section? He goes, I don't think that should be there. And immediately my big mouth goes, but if the guy from System of a Down did it, you'd be blowing him under the table.
Yeah, right on.
And he didn't know what to say. And I was like, you're not going to cut this song up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, I have some, I have more loyalty to this song than I do you.
Yeah.
Or any amount of money you're going to give me.
Yeah. So what did he say to that? Or he didn't
say anything.
Yeah.
And it was that was that. I guess that sealed that deal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I remember doing an edit of that song at some point, maybe just for reference.
We did some sort of edit to it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
In protest.
In protest. It was the song was popular live how it stood.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
It sounded great on the radio. Everybody that came across it loved it, and
yeah. So okay, so I mean that album was strong. I mean, I thought that was your best record. I mean, other ones were all great.
I mean, anybody
front to back,
anybody in the business in like our position at that point would have died to have the first 6 songs off that record.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it was still great. Those first 6 are all like slam dunks.
Yeah, if you have 2 good songs on an album, honestly, that's better than most things.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's all you need. But I mean, it's not all you need. You want them all to be great, but you know what I'm saying. So then, okay, so that doesn't happen, and then there was, I don't know if I really knew exactly how it ended, like how the Panacea thing kind of ended. I know basically there was that whole sort of split, and then there was kind of things came back together, and Tim was kind of starting to do some solo things, and I'll let you tell that period. That was, I mean, there was talk of another album.
Yeah, there was talk of doing some more stuff. I mean, we did that Bare Bones EP in the interim. It was just kind of like let the fans pick the songs, do acoustic songs, and that's all it was. It wasn't really anything. It was just something to place hold to do the next thing. And
that version we did of Day of Remembrance was pretty badass.
Oh yeah, it's very it's like very Led Zeppelin-ish.
Yeah, it had all those acoustic instruments.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was cool. And we were stomping on the board.
Yeah,
it sounds like a clap in the background. I was on the board on the floor. We put that like in place, and then we like, well, we want to do another thing, and just didn't seem like they didn't want to do it. Like, well, what else can we do that's going to be like better than what we did? And,
yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And that was kind of what they were feeling. And Tim was doing his solo stuff at the time, and he wanted to dig more into that. So
I remember talking. I mean, and I'll say from Panacea is one of the best bands I've worked with. You know what I mean? Certainly, Tim is definitely way up there. I mean, if not, I don't know if I can make the claim that I'm trying to think of somebody better than Tim. That I've worked with. I've honestly
seen him.
I can't right now.
We've really seen him do some amazing things.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the guy walk in where he could barely talk, and I thought, well, we're not getting any work done today. And then he just keeps going and going, and then all of a sudden it opens up and it blooms into this.
And it's stronger than it was.
Yeah, it's stronger than I would be with a favorable tailwind on my best day.
Yeah.
And he, great singer, great band, great songs, and I said 2 + 2 = 4, but I mean that was so. I mean. From my side of the fishbowl, I remember Tim kind of, and I sort of understood it. I understood both sides of it. Because it's kind of you've been doing this for years. You're not making, you're not taking home a bunch of money to keep the band together. There's not a lot of dough being made as far as like, this was like a really nice side hustle for everybody. It was a commitment. You've already done some really great work that sort of got really close and didn't happen. and then you're kind of sitting at this precipice of, okay, do we dive in again? You know what I mean? And what's going to be different this time than the last time, which we thought we really hit it out of the park. You know, that's sort of the overarching attitude.
Yep.
Sound about right?
Right on.
Yeah.
It's dead on.
Yeah. So that was what I was getting from everybody, was kind of, what are we going to do that we haven't already done? You know? So was there a final show? Did you guys even know there was like, or just kind of fizzled?
It just, you know, it just.
Did you cancel shows? Or did you
whatever.
Was there a falling out?
Tim just decided one day, he's like, I don't want to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
What can we do?
Yeah.
So there was, you know, there were shows booked, and I just said, like, why don't we just honor our obligations? And he was like, no.
Yeah. That was it.
Yep. That's that. Nothing glorious, nothing, no big fight, no nothing. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
it's life.
That's life. That's the way it goes. I mean, that's a pretty classic rock band tale. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it happens for most bands, you know, that go out there and do things, and if you look back through time and somebody brings up somebody like that, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember them. Whatever happened to those guys? Are they still playing? You know, most of these guys in some form or another are still playing music. You know, whoever the guys in, I don't know, take a 90s band that plays Everclear.
Yeah.
You know,
they're still playing.
There's like a guy or Verve Pipe or Marcy's Playground or
Gin
one of
Blossoms.
the Gin Blossoms. You know, that you know, there's like just these bands from the 90s, 30 years ago that would have been in the same era as us, you know, and then you move that up to the 2000s. Creed, yeah.
That's a prime example. Everybody hated Creed. Oh, nobody likes Creed. They had one of the biggest tours last year.
Yeah.
Creed. Like, it lasts. I mean, it's because it takes you back to that, like, oh, that time, what was going on then.
Yeah.
It's like my parents with like the Beatles, like, well, what was going on around that time, and, you know, like John Kennedy assassination, and then, you know, the Beatles came along, and like the world became a happier place until the Vietnam War, blah blah blah. You know, sure. That was kind of our, like, you know, there was Creed or whoever, Limp Bizkit or whatever, and
sure.
And look at now, they're all like, you know, they're doing those types of tours.
Yeah. Like
the Golden Oldies tours, but
sure,
it's only 20 years, but 20 years is 20 years.
Yeah, but they had an audience.
Yep.
They built an audience, and you know, I remember, here's a funny story. In the mid 90s, we started getting, when we got a booking, well, first of all, like when we got a record deal, in quick succession, we started getting offers from booking agents. Then we chose a booking agent. Mm-hmm. Then we started getting offered tours. And it sounds like a bizarre pairing, but one of the tours we got offered was to play with Def Leppard. We turned it down for whatever else we did at that time. My point being,
didn't you guys open for Peter, Paul, and Mary?
No.
Oh, no. I thought that was the tour.
No. But Def Leppard at that point was
fizzled out, tail end.
It was like it was done. You
Look
know
at it now.
You know, I mean, it was like, it was not something. It was not high on our list of things that we wanted to go do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wasn't. They were on the tail end of the.
And it was kind of like on the 3-4 years into Seattle and grunge, and everybody was kind of looking at it like, well, I remember, like, you know, first time I talked about this on another podcast. First time I saw Chris Cornell with that white Les Paul playing Outshined, I'm like, Bret Michaels will never work again. You know, Def Leppard. Oh, like, not Def Leppard, a little bit of a different animal because of the, but, you know, like the hair metal bands. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, why do you need all these hair metal bands if you got that guy? You know what I mean? And you know, most of those guys didn't live. You know, from those bands, they're not alive, and Poison and Def Leppard and all these other bands are out there entertaining the masses and doing great and making people happy and having a great time.
They're playing their music.
Yeah, playing their music, and it all kind of came back around. Like you say, Creed, everybody hated them, came back around. Now it's one of the biggest tours out there.
Definitely, yeah.
People are, and it's just these cycles of, people are, they're in their 20s and that's the band, and then, then they start to have kids and they're not in the clubs and they're not going out anymore. But the band's still out there cooking along, but then the band's going downhill because their audience is getting older and it isn't, and isn't paying attention to that kind of thing. But then, then 20 years goes by and then the kids are out of the house and they have disposable income and they want to go see a show. So they want, whether they want to, they don't want to see the new band from 2025. They want to see what they listened to when they were young.
And also the kids are hearing that in the house.
They're hearing that. Yeah. So the kids are coming along with them.
It's just like, I would imagine your house had the Beatles and the Stones playing, or Johnny Cash. I know Johnny Cash a lot of country. So, you get your influences start at home, and a lot of these kids, I don't go to concerts because I don't go to concerts.
Yeah.
But you see people that take their kids to the concerts, there's a lot of people my age with their kids going to shows, and that's pretty cool. I never went to a show with my father. Yeah. So I never went to a show. I don't think I went to a show with my mother either. I think I went with my first show was with my brother.
Yeah.
So
I went to shows with my aunt. And my aunt was my Aunt Shelley was certainly my introduction to good music. Just generally speaking, she was about 12, 14 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So she was the cool aunt. She was still in high school when I was born. And she, or not even in high school, she was junior high. Mm-hmm. So, when I started to get to the age to go see bands and go see shows, I went with her several times. My first show, I listened to her 45s when I was at my grandmother's, and that was where I got my musical taste started. And then I went from there.
I still have my mom's copy of Abbey Road.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. That's not leaving now. It's like the first.
Really?
That's everybody introduction to the Beatles is usually the Mop Top stuff. I went backwards.
Yeah.
I started with Abbey Road and I was like, ooh, this is so cool. This is awesome. And you could listen front to back.
I had my first albums were the Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. Second one's the Beatles live 1962 at the Cavern Club.
Okay.
And Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Where I got them all at once. 3 records. Those were my first 3 albums. So I sound like a real kind of like I own a record store. I'm so cool, you know what I mean? But my mother,
you come out from behind the drape.
But then the next record was I'm Your Boogeyman.
Oh,
it was Casey and Sunshine.
Casey,
45. Because my mother did own a record store, and that's where I got my first albums for a while in our hometown, which we had 4 people that would buy records in the whole town. Because there was only 12 of us. So
I'm going to say Beatles, Elvis. Jackie Wilson.
Really?
Jackie Wilson.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah.
Lonely Teardrops. That oh my God. Such a song. Say you will. Say you will. Oh, such a good song. My dad had
Platters albums.
Oh, that's
the Platters
stuff.
And I remember hearing this song. This is left field, but there's this one song by Green Day, like My Love, something like that. My love. I can picture this song. But anyway, I'm listening to this song, I'm listening to this melody, and I'm like, this is the Platters. This song is the Platters. Mm-hmm. I'm listening because it sounds like The Great Pretender, like the angle of the, and there's that song, I'm wearing my heart like a crown. I'm wearing my heart like a crown, in that song. And then in the same song, My Love, the lyrics, Billy Armstrong lyrics are, he says, I'm wearing my heart like a noose.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, so you definitely lifted that one. So.
Come on, flat top.
Yeah, you're right on. So I remember listening to it and thinking, oh, that's the Great Pretender. Yeah. But in a rock song, So it was something pretty cool that happened.
Hell yeah!
And the people you're borrowing from things that you don't think anybody would be borrowing from. That's got heavy guitars or big rock and roll guitars, and they're borrowing from some doo-wop band from the 50s, but that's the way it works. Melodies, songs are songs.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I said that I would. Any parting thoughts from you?
Go check out Portland Frank.
I haven't even talked about Portland Frank.
I know.
I apologize.
We might need a trilogy.
We might need a trilogy. Well, I mean, I will say the Portland Frank thing, your band Portland Frank, we did an EP probably 2 years ago. And kind of like, to me, I mean, like us having a long history, and all those guys that I worked with, like Johnny, I never worked with Johnny back in the day. He was in bands like Ashfall and that. Like I never recorded Portland Frank. And I never recorded Ashfall.
Nope.
And I mean, obviously, awesome singer. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's a good band. That's a great band. And like, to me, it's kind of it's kind of an extension, in a way, just because it's sort of the same. You're kind of like, I know your approach.
Yeah.
And it feels the same to me.
Yeah, it's the same. I can't change what I am. So.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like the same music, but it feels like the same ethos or whatever the word is.
Like I said, you can't,
Yeah.
If it's green and it jumps, it's probably a frog. I'm not a rhinoceros.
Right,
what I mean?
right on. But I'll say, and you and I play together a lot with our Wilkes-Barreans band. We play dual gigs sometimes. You got the Portland Frank thing we have another 3 songs that we just did.
Yep.
That we're working on. The EP from that's probably 2 years now, right?
Yeah, about 2
year and a half.
Year and a half.
Okay. So that's all good stuff. I mean, basically what I was saying was at the end of the day, I think that people with a band like all of your work and like what you're doing now and where you came from and that whole swath of like a very, very typical musician's tale, the way the whole Panacea thing goes. I would think it would be more common that the band would have gotten a record deal and the record never came out. You know what I mean? Like that's a more common than to have it like be 3 separate times and it just got to the door and it just didn't cross over for whatever reason. And the music business was changing at that time too. Records weren't selling and
digital heaven was digital heaven. It just started to shift.
Yeah. But I'd say this, it's kind of like, for me, the ultimate sort of end game is kind of that you can keep doing it. Once again, if you put asses in the seats, you get to keep playing. If you sell records or sell something, you get to keep making more of what it is you're making.
If you're good, you get to keep playing.
If you're good, you get to keep playing. And that in of itself, to me, is kind of the goal. And that's what happened, and to this day, like you say, there's still an audience out there for you guys. And if you ever do decide, I don't know for certain, but my guess is we didn't mention like Matt Jaffin played at the end.
Matt Jaffin was bass player on from We the Broken On.
Yeah. And we didn't.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah. I play with Matt sometimes.
He said he didn't want to even mention you because he wanted to slight you because of the whole folder thing. So
no. But anyhow, the folder. But anyway, the goal is there was an audience there. You made a lot of people happy, and we meant something. You said that a long time ago too. Like when we disbanded, you were like, I foresee a show happening sometime because you meant a lot to a lot of people. Yeah. And that always stuck with me. Yeah. And as the older I get and, the more clear my head gets from not being so screwed up. Yeah. I realize that, and I see just when I see people out that came to see us and I haven't seen them in 20 years. Yeah. It's immediate. It's like, it's still there. So sure. I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting here talking to you about this stuff. Yeah. This far down the line. This far down the line about anything. I mean, you get in a band, you want to just go play music, have fun, drink, and meet girls and do whatever. And
it starts as that for everyone. I don't care what they say. I don't care what Dustin says, with his jewelry on and his long hair. That's the reason he started doing it. We all do it for the same reason. We're all a bunch of nerds. Yeah. We're all a bunch of dorks. And that's our way of like becoming cool or whatever.
Sure.
So, you know, I only expected, you know, I'm gonna play cover music and I'll be fine or whatever. And then that all happened, and it's like it totally changes your trajectory of everything and how you have to think about things and go about it and do it. And like I said, it meant a lot to a lot of people. It meant a lot to me. The time I spent with you was awesome. Like we became very close, and everything that we did, and you know, I wouldn't trade that for the world. Like record deal or hang out with you. You fucking stuff the record deal up your ass. I don't want it. No thanks, man. I'd rather, you know, make music with you and whoever wants to make music. And
you
know, there's no shortage of great players and great people, and just good music comes out of it. You know, collaboration and the friends we've all. I mean, my father was a very social person. Like, everybody knew my dad. Yeah. He was like the mayor. And my aunt said the one time, she's like, your father can't hold a candle to you of like the people that I know. Cause like, you know how it is. You go somewhere and people are like, oh, I know you from blah, blah, blah. But you're 4 hours away from home. Yeah. And the people that are with you are like, how did that person know you? Well, I always say to myself when sometimes I get really down on myself and just beat myself into the ground. Like, you suck at everything you do.
Sure.
And you actually said it. You said sometimes you just have to realize how cool you are or who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be reminded that sometimes, because it's been so long and you forget about that stuff. And that's a good kick in the ass sometimes when I'm working on something or.
Sure.
And it's just like, these people don't know who the fuck I am. Like, I did a lot of shit. People would be very, very envious of what we did.
Sure.
And here I am, not happy with it.
Yeah, sure.
Because I want more, you know.
Sure.
That's just the way it is. But I mean, I appreciate it. It holds a special place in my heart. Mm-hmm. All those people do. I mean, I still remember everyone. You know, we've lost a couple people who were very, very close to the band in the past, like 5-10 years, that always came out. And, you know, it was like losing a family member. I mean, we all got to know each other and, you know, went to each other's houses, parties, you know, see pictures of each other's kids and, you know, the circle of life.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, all these things come together just because you a bunch of guys decided to get together in a garage.
I decided to take a chance on something I had no idea how it was going to go.
Mm-hmm. And look at that. And you know, and that's the thing I said is, if you guys ever do decide, you know,
I've decided.
Yeah. So if you ever do decide you want to do this again, the people will be there for you, because, you know, I mean, you know, they were there before. They're still out there.
It touched them somehow.
It touched them somehow. And
appropriately or inappropriately,
I was trying. That was what my pause was for, to try to figure out the best way to say you touched someone.
I got it. Don't worry. My philanthropy has run rampant.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's it. I mean, you know, that's it. That's what it's all about. You know, making music and getting out there and playing and, you know, kind of putting yourself out there and doing it the way you want to do it, you know, and you know, what's done, you know, when it's done once, it's done forever, man. You know, so it's not going anywhere.
Nope, it's going to be there.
Yeah. So, all right, buddy, I'll wrap her up here, and I
thought you were going to have like a big closing remark.
That was my closing. Closing. Okay. Once it's done, it's done for all time. I mean,
I could say a thing that my father said, but I don't think anybody would want to hear that. But you know, I really don't fucking care.
What is it?
My father would say, just remember something.
Okay.
You lick a million pussies in your life. Nobody ever call you a pussy licker. Suck one dick, you're labeled. There you go. Labeled. That's words to live by. Labeled forever. Take it for what it is. My father was a wise man. Very wise.
There it is. Thanks, pal.
Hell yeah, buddy. Bye, everybody.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.